All right, let's get this breakdown in. It's a nice day out here in Arizona. Got the window cracked. I'm ready to go take a walk, get me something to eat. And Microsoft lays off about 3% of its workforce in what one executive calls a day with a lot of tears. If you didn't know, Microsoft Corporation, an American multinational corporation and technology conglomerate headquartered in Redmond, Washington. In simple words, Microsoft is the world's largest vendor of computer software and a leading provider of cloud computing services, video games, computer and gaming hardware, search, and other online services. And there's been a lot of these places closing down, going bankrupt. A lot of stories of these businesses where, people losing their jobs, right? Rite Aid, I did the story recently, closing or selling all of its drugstores. Was it Weight Watchers filing for bankruptcy? We've had in the past Walgreens closing a lot of its stores, Joann's closing down. Okay, and so on and so on. But I'd say at least 15 over the past few months stories I've done where it's stories on, people losing their jobs. And again, we get a layoff story here, right? So we can go ahead and get into it a little bit. And of course, I have a news clip that we're gonna attempt to play here. And let's get this day going.
We have breaking news on Microsoft. Steve Kovac has the details. Hi, Steve.
Yeah, Mike, Microsoft tells us it's laying off 3% of its global workforce. This is across all geographies and all levels of employment. This appears to be its largest cuts since early 2023 when it laid off 10,000 employees. Based on the last count of employees that we have, this would be about 6,000 employees with these global cuts. As for why this is happening, Microsoft tells us in a statement, we continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. And we see shares of
All right, so that's just kind of like whatever, right? They didn't really give an answer.
Microsoft. We can get a chart up there. They were down a little bit, just fractionally down, it looks like right here. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Steve Kovac.
All right, so that was a pretty basic explanation of why they're laying off about 3% of their workforce. Microsoft began laying off about 6,000 workers Tuesday, nearly 3% of its entire workforce, and its largest job cuts in more than 2 years as a company, as the company spends heavily on artificial intelligence. AI. Hard hit was the tech giant's home state of Washington, where Microsoft informed state officials it was cutting 1,985 workers to its Redmond headquarters, many of them in software engineering and product management roles. Microsoft said the layoffs will be across all levels, teams, and geographies, but the cuts will focus on reducing the number of managers. Notices to employees began going out on Tuesday. The mass layoffs come just weeks after Microsoft reported strong sales and profits that will beat Wall Street expectations for the January through March quarter, which investors took as a dose of relief during a turbulent time for the tech sector and U.S. economy. They're saying AI. The company spends heavily on AI. You see that right there? All right. So again, I said I wanted to make this semi quick, as I smell coffee in my near future. Let's go ahead and open this up. Notice right here, Microsoft equals 125 in the reverse cipher. This story hits Tuesday. You see that? Laying off nearly 3% of its entire workforce Tuesday. They began this process. Well, the day before Tuesday was Monday, the 12th day of the 5th month. So look at how that hits. 125, 12th day of the 5th month, Microsoft equals 125 in the reverse cipher. Hey, we're in May. Microsoft M. May M. Don't forget we just had Mother's Day. One day before that Monday, Mother's Day's got that M as well. A lot of this stuff is with the language, and I'll show you upcoming. We have more of that. We just had the Bill Gates trending story. Totally separate, and he's one of the founders of Microsoft. He was just trending recently, not a coincidence. Pledges his remaining fortune to the Gates Foundation, which will close in 20 years. Not a coincidence we get the Microsoft story just after. They say Microsoft to lay off about 3% of his workforce. Look at all these threes. Bill Gates equals 33 in the language. Layoffs, 33 and 30, like 3. Even fired, 33 and 30, like 3. Tuesday was the 133rd day of the year. Check that out. Notice how Microsoft is founded. They were founded on April 4, 1975. The last anniversary, so the 50th anniversary, which was this year, 33 date numerology. How about that? And I'm about to drop a Jason Tatum injury breakdown against the Knicks. I have that video all set up. It should be, I think, later today or tomorrow, loaded with 33s as well. And that 4/4 founding anniversary for Microsoft, April 4, 4/4. It's a 40-day span from that anniversary to this article, which is based on Tuesday, May 13. Start to end from the founding anniversary to Tuesday, a 40-day span. Again, like 4. And Microsoft was founded 4/4, April 4. I told you May, right? M, the 13th letter of the alphabet. Microsoft M. What do you think about this? The two founders here of Microsoft. RIP, no more Paul Allen. Check it out. Paul Allen, he died 13 days before Bill Gates' birthday, and this article hits on the 13th. I just did the Kim Kardashian trending story. She's in court on the stand, right? She got robbed in Paris for her jewelry or whatever. Her birthday is 10/21. So even her birthday, 6 days after the Paul Allen death, and 7 days before the Bill Gates birthday. So that's also trending. KK, Kim Kardashian, with the October birthday. So you see how that even factors in here. But article on the 13th, Paul Allen, one of the founders, Bill Gates, the other of Microsoft. Paul Allen dies 13 days before Bill Gates' birthday. And 13, kind of like an unlucky number, right? Think about like Friday the 13th, right? This is his full name. You see, was an American businessman, computer programmer, researcher, film producer, explorer, sports executive, co-founder of Microsoft. Look at Paul Gardner Allen, 271 in the language. And you see the founding anniversary of Microsoft, April 4 this year, leaves 271 days in the year. Look at how that looks on top of each other right there. 271, 271. The stuff's all with the language. Obviously, the founding date of Microsoft factors in here. Bill Gates kind of trending at a similar time as this story, and you don't get Bill Gates just trending all the time. Even Gardner with the middle name here for Paul Allen, G like Gates. Wow, this is amazing because I always thought, and I mentioned it in the Bill Gates breakdown, I thought, and I mentioned then that Bill Gates kind of looked like Woody Allen. And I mentioned that in that breakdown. You can go check that out. It was just a few days back with him turning over his fortune to the Gates Foundation or whatever. And then this guy's name is Paul Gardner Allen. So I bet there's something to that as well. Woody Allen, Bill Gates. See, a nice, easy one.
Another major company announced a big round of layoffs. Microsoft started sending out layoff notices to employees this morning.
The Seattle area-based tech company is expected to lay off almost 3% of its workforce, or about 6,000 people. The layoffs
Look at these colors too, huh? Interesting.
Weeks after Microsoft reported strong profits the first quarter of the year that beat Wall Street expectations. The company said the cuts will affect all job levels, teams, and geographies.
You know, that we don't want people to lose their jobs. Like the thumbnail hits heavy. Right? So yeah, I just wanted to give you that nice easy breakdown with some Paul Allen connections as well. I didn't want to go too deep into Bill Gates cuz yeah, there really is Woody Allen vibes with Bill Gates. But yeah, I wanted to just touch on this character right here a little bit. He's even born 121, January 21. Blood sacrifice equals 121. How did he die? Septic shock. And born in Seattle, S. Septic shock, SS. Septic shock related to cancer is what it says right there. Let's put septic shock in the calculator since we have a couple of minutes. Septic shock. Septic shock equals 50 in the reduction cipher. This last anniversary, the founding of Microsoft, was the 50th anniversary, as they were founded April 4th, 1975. Fast forward 50 years. This past April 4, the 50-year anniversary of the founding. Not a coincidence. Not a coincidence. Not a coincidence whatsoever. And look, you get the 131 in ordinal. Remember, he died 13 days before Bill Gates' birthday. You see how that works? And septic shock has the 193, the 44th prime number. Kill equals 44. Notice the 67 right here with septic shock. This is how they said Paul Allen died, co-founder Microsoft. 67 is the 19th prime number. Chaos equals 19. The 19th letter of the alphabet is S. And again, born in Seattle, S, the 19th letter of the alphabet. You see how that works? You see how that works? That's exactly how that works. And look at Bill Gates' net worth. $113 billion right here. Look over here on the right. Like 13, remember Paul Allen died 13 days before Bill Gates' birthday. Microsoft M, the 13th letter of the alphabet, y'all. Okay, so you get a little bit more on the fly there. Microsoft employed 228,000 full-time workers as of last June, the last time it reported its annual headcount. Look at this, about 55% of those workers were in the US. Bill Gates, born in 1955. You see that? Even Melinda, his ex-wife, M, like Microsoft, and the 13th letter of the alphabet. Come on, man. Woman. Alien. Okay? So hopefully, look, they mentioned Mark Zuckerberg. Again, M, the 13th letter of the alphabet. You see that? No joke. No joke. All right, so that's going to be my breakdown. Microsoft, and we'll see how many more of these companies how many more layoffs, what's going to be the end result of all of this, it's just going to be what, online, right? A lot of people with a lot of these other stores that are closing, a lot of people are shopping online, right? Oh, and you kind of see a 50, a 5 and a 0 balloon there on the Microsoft. So that, I just noticed that, but I already know as a breakdown channel, you look up the founding anniversary, and yes, 50 years, and that's how Paul Allen died, septic shock. Septic shock, 50 in the language. Microsoft lays off about 3% of its workforce in what one executive calls a day with a lot of tears. Right? Yes. Okay. Daily Decode's 812. Until next time, peace. RIP to these job losses.